Hi class, this is AP English Literature and Composition, and I'm going to give you an overview of the course syllabus. So my name is Mrs. Jenny Blair, and here is my contact information. My email address is jblair@clps.info, and here is my cell phone number. Please go ahead and put this in your phone right now so that you have it ready to go. The Advanced Placement course in Literature and Composition is a survey of British and American literature from the 1600s to today. You will be able to read and analyze poetry, essays, fiction, nonfiction, etc. And this is a fast-paced college-level course that's designed to get you ready for the AP Literature exam and also for college. So the ideologies and beliefs in the Enlightenment, Romantic, Victorian, Modern, and Postmodern periods will be discussed in light of a biblical worldview, and you'll be able to see how these beliefs impact our current American culture. So you will study the English language within the study of literature with examples from each time period, and you'll evaluate these works based on their social, cultural, and historical values. You'll write essays analyzing how certain values are reflected in writings from each of these time periods. So you'll be able to read critically, speak and write about a variety of topics, and imitate models of literary forms. You'll compose original poetry. You'll interpret different types of poetry through close reading of textual details. You'll be able to compare and contrast paired poems in order to interpret the themes and the metaphors and the other literary elements. And you'll be able to develop the skill of close reading so that you can connect how the individual parts of a poem connect to the overall meaning. So a lot of times in class we'll complete in-class timed writings to respond to the literature that you're reading. You'll be able to do essays outside of class. We will peer review, self-review, revise, lots of different types of writing. We're also going to work on vocabulary and grammar in this course, also how to use different types of sentence structures, organize your paragraphs, emphasize different points, and above everything else, to be able to produce a compelling argument. You'll be keeping a journal in the class as you write and respond to different types of literature that we're reading in the class this year. So more of this information is available in the syllabus about what we're specifically going to do, but some assignments will include journals, reading quizzes, speech projects, exams, and composition. And because this is a college level course, the expectations are high, and the reading workload is quite challenging. You are expected to come to class with the works read and prepared for discussion, and so it'll take you time to adjust as you have to start managing your time a little bit differently for this class. So the books that we'll use in class, I call it the textbook. There's a really long name for it. It's called Literature and Composition. But we use that in class. Please bring it to class every day. We read out of it all the time. We're reading Frankenstein, Sense and Sensibility, Heart of Darkness, The Importance of Being Earnest, selected poems and short stories, and others. We'll have some independent reading projects and things like that. So some supplies that you need every day in class, bring these every single day with you. We will use them all the time. Our highlighters have at least 4 different colors. I don't care what colors you pick, just make sure you have 4 different kinds. Have some post-it notes, whatever sizes you want. You need a pen, not a pencil. You need a pen and a red pen, and your yellow pages, which I'll give you on the first day of class. And in your binder, you need 5 sections that are dedicated to this English class. And these sections are reference, where your yellow pages will live, and some other documents. Writing, literature, vocabulary, and grammar. Those are the 5 sections you need. Grading in this class is divided into 2 categories. The first is formative, and that's worth 30% of your grade. And these are just anything that's practice, where I'm kind of assessing how much you know at a certain time. And that's anything we're doing in class, any homework, quizzes, any practice assignments are only worth 30% of your grade, and there will be quite a few of those. And then the summative category is worth 70% of your grade. This is any kind of big grade, so your papers, your projects, your exams all go in this category. There are less summative grades than there are formative grades. So each summative assignment that you complete is worth quite a bit for your overall grade. On the flip side of that, formative grades are only worth 30%. So if you don't do well on one, it's not really going to affect your grade too terribly. So that's kind of the plus side to that. I'm going to give you a yellow pages packet. Don't lose it. Bring it every day to class. It should be in your reference section. The next thing I want to talk about is MLA. We use MLA format in this course, and I'm assuming that you guys have already learned MLA format. We're not going to review it. So if you have forgotten your MLA format or you don't know it, you need to go take the initiative, refresh your memory on your own. There are two websites here that are really good. The first is the Diana Hacker website, where she has a lot of different types of MLA sources on there, references and things like that. And then the Purdue website, their online writing lab has a pretty well documented MLA format on there. So you don't have to know this by memory, but you do need to know how to use MLA format, and we'll talk more about that in class, what I expect for that. Technology, I'm using a lot of technology in the class this year, and so I will post all assignments on RenWeb. If you don't know when something is due, go to RenWeb. That's the end-all be-all where things are posted. Homework is posted on the day it's due in class, not the day it's assigned. So make sure that you're keeping track with your calendar to know that all the assignments that are in there are when they're due. So it's your responsibility to keep track of your assignments. I also use Edmodo to post assignments and give quizzes and things like that. And we're going to talk about that in a second. If an assignment calls for you to print out your assignment and bring it to class or print out a document, please print that before you come to class. Do not use the school printer. It's not for you to use. So you're supposed to have a printer at home that prints just fine. If you don't, you need to get a friend to print something for you, or you need to run to Kinko's on your way to school. But do not come to class without that. You will not receive a grade for anything that you don't print it off. Edmodo is an online community where we have classes and you can interact with me and each other. The class code is listed in your syllabus. So to join the class, you will need that class code. Check it daily. There are these features on here that make your life a lot easier. And so I'll post a lot of things on there, from assignments to just documents and things that you need to read. I'm going to show you our class, AP English Literature. In a quick overview, you can see all the posts here. There's a folders section where I've posted documents in there for you. But in here you can read notes and even reply to them or write your own notes. So this is just one from me to the class. There is an assignment feature where I can post an assignment and give you a due date. And it tells you this is the title of the assignment, Poetry Essay, Batter My Heart. And there's a turn in button, and there's always a little description. Please upload your poetry essay over Batter My Heart here. And when you're completing something for Edmodo, there's a certain way I want you to save your files. The files are all going to be saved in a standardized way. I'm going to show you an example of my Word document. We're pretending that this is my first and last name is Jenny Student, and this is my homework that I'm turning in. So you'll note that the file name is the same name as the assignment, Poetry Essay Batter My Heart. Poetry Essay Batter My Heart. And then I added my first name, Jenny, and my last name, Student. That is how all of your file names need to be when you're uploading anything to Edmodo to me. They need to have the complete title of the assignment in your first and last name. If you don't include that, you're not going to get credit for that assignment. Also, every assignment, not just any that you turn in on Edmodo, but anything in class needs to have a standard heading with your first and last name, the name of the class, and the date. And it also needs to have a title on it so I know what it is. So this is Poetry Essay over Batter My Heart. And here's the essay I wrote for that. Okay, so I've saved that in my folder that's on my computer, and I'm ready to turn it in, so I'll click on Turn In. And here are your options down here, and I will upload a file. If you're using Google Docs or Google Drive, you can totally use that, but make sure that I have permission to open that link so I'm not stuck without the permission. If you want, you can use the backpack feature on here, and the backpack is basically just the place where you can store documents online. It's also up here. You can upload all your stuff into the backpack. So that's pretty cool. So make sure you have the standard file name and the standard heading on everything that you turn in on Edmodo. Sometimes I post quizzes on there, and you'll see that I have a poetry quiz It's due on August 4th, and it has one question, so I click on Take Quiz. And it tells you the total amount of questions and the time that you have. Once that time runs out, it'll stop and submit your quiz for you. So you just start quiz. Poetry starts with AP. There's only one question. Okay, submit quiz. Are you sure you want to end this quiz? Yes, submit. So then it says you completed it, and then you can give it a reaction that I was bored. And then you can view your results, and they will show you all the answers. So that's that feature. The other cool thing about Edmodo is the calendar, or it's called the planner. So the planner feature, you can click on that and see all of your due dates that are listed on Edmodo. These are things that the teachers put in. Okay, so you can, those are the two things that you just saw. So, oh, I need to turn in my essay, click there, and it shows you that same little essay area where you can turn it in. So that's a really cool feature. So make sure you go join the group. Okay. So check that daily because we were posting on there. You can also use that to post things to each other or get help from each other on things. Okay, so this is an advanced placement course, and we assume and we assume every student's going to take the test. We encourage every student to take the AP test at the end of the year, and I'm going to give you more information about how we're going to prepare you for that. So the AP exam can give you college credit. So this is you studying for your AP exam, and you're so happy because you're working hard toward a goal. And here's you and all your friends after you've received your AP scores and you all received college credit. How amazing will that be when you can go into college with a class out of the way? You have credit for AP, or you have credit for college English already out of the way. That would be amazing. So we work hard in this class. We work hard in the extra AP sessions that I'll talk to you more about, but it's worth it in the end, and that's why we work really hard in this class. Late work will not be accepted. So this is just my policy in the class. I want to prepare you for college and all the rigors of college, so in order to do that, I don't accept any late work. If something's due in my hand at 9:30 in the morning, if it's not in my hand at 9:30, it will be considered late, and you will get a 0 in the grade book. And those cannot be made up. So you must turn in an assignment at the beginning of the class unless I tell you otherwise. If you are absent the day an assignment is due in class, it is your responsibility to notify me before the start of class so that if you're going to be absent. So I'm going to check my email and my voicemail and my Edmodo and see if I have anything from you before class started saying I'm absent or I'm sick. If there's not, you're going to get a 0 for that assignment. Okay? But if you do leave me a message, you'll have till the next class period to turn in your assignment, and you won't be penalized for that. So if there's an assignment due on Edmodo, but you're absent that day, it's still due on Edmodo. Okay, if you don't turn that in, you'll get a 0. You can always go up in there and upload your assignment, even if you're going to miss. So you need to plan that ahead of time. If something crazy happens, you're really sick, an emergency happened, you need to talk to me before an assignment's due. If you wait days after an assignment's due, I can't help you and I won't give you a grade for it. So the key here is communicate, communicate, communicate. Just overly communicate with me so that I can grade your assignments the best. I'm not going to keep track of if you've turned something in or not. If I don't have it in my hand, it's going to be a 0. So that's your responsibility. So here's the theme. Don't wait, communicate. You can call me, you can email me, you can send me a direct message on Edmodo, or you can talk to me in person. If you're going to call, email, or message me, you have to give me 24 hours to respond. That's the CLIPS policy. So if you need help with an assignment that's due at 9:30 on Wednesday and you're calling me at 10 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday night, that doesn't give me sufficient time to call you back and help you with that. So please plan ahead, do your homework in enough time to where you can call me or message me for a response. And really quickly, here are some of the items that we'll be doing in the fall semester. So you can look at those. And in the spring, we'll be reading several books and plays. In both semesters, we'll be doing a study of vocabulary, and we'll be doing grammar preparation. And in the syllabus, there is a detailed outline of everything we're doing. And the theme this year is no excuses, adjust, adapt, and overcome. It's going to be a great year in junior English, and I'm excited for it. I'll see you guys in class.